If in some weird turn of fate, I tumbled off of a cliff and I was hanging onto the only root that was holding my, I would just die. That would be the end.
No,
I wouldn't be able to
me
be
too.
like,
Absolutely. I've never once done a pull-up.
We got to get you into pull-ups. They're so fun.
Yeah.
What do you, what is, no.
pull-ups are very satisfying.
Well, I wouldn't know.
We're going to get you there.
We're going to get you there.
Oh, God.
We're going to get you there, Reed, between the two of us.
All right, then we'll have a pull-up competition on the show.
Well, now you're taking it too far.
competition.
Now you're taking it too far. No
Just a demonstration.
Let's do a pull-up collaboration.
All right, welcome to I Love You So Much. My name is Reed Fish. I'm here with my good friend Tyler Labine.
Hi, everybody.
Tyler,
Reed.
Maxx Eddy's here.
Maxx Eddy is here.
Oh, I love
Two
this.
X's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the second X is me overcompensating.
Right. I figured it was very hard earned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't get to have that X for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're just you're working up to triple X.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, if the comedy career doesn't work out, I'm just gonna go straight into OnlyFans, and 3X's is perfect branding.
But we do start every show with confessions.
Yeah.
So we all need to confess something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we definitely like to get it a little immediately vulnerable. So
yes,
you can start thinking now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you want to kick it off or you want me?
You kick it off this time. I feel like I did that.
Yeah, I know. Look,
You were
okay.
like, Reed, if you talk long enough, I can think of a confession.
Yeah. No, I had one, but now it's like slipping my mind. Hang on.
Okay, well, I mine is at the tip of my tongue here.
Do it.
Mine is, and this doesn't happen very often, that I get phone calls, but I got phone calls from friends, and I let them go to voicemail.
Oh.
Yeah, because
That's reserved for moms.
Like, I lament people not calling me. I lament the fact that I don't call other people, but then I've had friends call, and I've just let it go to voicemail because I either didn't want to talk to them specifically in that moment. I just think the opportunities to connect and the opportunities for someone to reach out seem so rare now that it's like I should not let those pass.
Course of action is fairly simple. You're going to pick up.
It's a pretty simple confession and course of action.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine's a little more complicated to articulate. We have time.
Yeah.
We have time? Good time? Okay. So I have a partner, Martha. I've talked about on the show lots. I have 3 children. They're varying ages from 15 to 9. They need a lot of my time, a lot of my attention, but mostly they need my emotional availability and, transparency and all the things that come along with being a good parent, I think. My partner, Martha, and I have been on a journey of, we need to acquire some new tools in our relationship to communicate better, and like all these things that have kind of come from us hitting each other's edges a little bit. That happens in a relationship, especially if you want to move forward and grow. It's like you're going to have to come up against some bumps, But what I've found has been happening is like this very old kind of form of depression is showing up in me, where I'm so heavily affected by what's going on with Martha and I sometimes that I go into this very victim-y, pity sort of depression zone. And it becomes everything is about that. And and then my children are over here. All my emotional bandwidth is going to this thing, which isn't even actually that dire. It's like, it's I can hang a lot of my sort of anxiety and my drama on this relationship thing. And I've got these 3 beautiful people in my life who I love more than anything. And I'm neglecting them a little bit because I'm going through some growth in my other relationship, which I think is understandable. It's a little hard to maintain both, but it's been making me feel really like, oh my God, dude, if ever there was a time to compartmentalize, keep that in its place, at least keep perspective on it, right? Like Martha and I are adults, we're in a relationship, we choose each other every day. It could go forever, it could end, it could whatever it is, but that's its own thing. These are my forever people. These are my children that are, I've always said that you're number one for me no matter what. And so I just wanted to confess that I think I've been sort of a little bit being emotionally distant because I'm wrapped up in another thing.
Can you work on your Martha stuff on the weeks you don't have your kids?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I've invented a course of action for you, Tyler.
This is a simpler way to put it. Martha and I will get into an unanticipated argument about something, and I brood. And I get shitty, and I'm like, ugh. And then my kids are there, and they're like, Daddy, look at this. And I'm like, I'm there, but I'm also like in this broody, and it doesn't happen all the time. But when it does happen, I almost immediately, I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to put that away. And I do, but I already had the initial sort of brush off with the.
Do you find these these opportunities for growth with Martha happen more often when your kids are around?
No.
Okay, that's good.
We get along fantastically, Martha and I. It's just that I think there are things that you can only learn once you live with somebody. that come up, like we were in a relationship in New York, and then we were long distance for like a year and a half. And then we moved in, and it's like, it's real, man. She moved in with 3 children. She's a woman who never wanted to have her own children. She loves kids, but she's navigating a lot. And, there's a new bonus adult in the house, and my kids are navigating a lot. I'm navigating a lot. I'm navigating a relationship with my ex-wife and her partner. So there's like
this podcast.
Yeah, man, this fucking podcast. These
Which
guys,
should come
these
first,
degenerates over here.
Exactly.
Over kids, over relationships, the pod. That's my opinion.
And then my course of action is that I have been hyper vigilant about putting those in their right place and having conversations with Martha, which can be just as simple as like, I'm putting a pin in this. All right. Sure. Even if I just sort of put like a visual on, like I will put that there, little pin in that. We're going to come back to it. She's great at that. I'm not as great at that. So I just covered up. And that's it. That's my confession. And I want a shawl. Yeah. I need some warmth, guys. And then on top of that, just more of my work in therapy and just going back to some of the basics, which are like, putting energy where it needs to go and not sweating ultimately kind of the small things. And that's it.
Top that, Max.
That's great.
Yeah.
I have a confession of an entirely different tenor.
Perfect.
Love it. It's I drove me and my buddy to a show in Palm Springs a couple days ago, and I had a milkshake before the drive, and I farted about 8 times in that car. And I never once admitted to it. And every single time I was like, I think something's up with my AC. Like,
we drove by a cell for mine.
Stinking the Black Death in there.
Oh my God.
I was like, there's something wrong.
Just the 2 of you in the car?
Yeah, just the 2 of us.
I mean, come on, man.
I know. It was like, I could just be honest with him, but I'll text him today and I'll be like, hey man, it wasn't my AC.
Just when this show comes out, just point him to
just send it right to him.
That's a level of, are you close with this guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then,
it was partly I was doing it to be impish and just be silly and just see if he never once accused me though. I was like, I think that was the payoff I was waiting for. He was going to be like, wait, that was you, right? But he never once said.
He's just like, the most polite guy. Maybe it was me.
Wow,
that stinks in here.
He's like checking his own system. Like, I don't think I've released recently.
Wow, so are you lactose intolerant?
Yes. And I found that out probably like 6 months ago.
Right.
Even though
still drinking the milkshakes though.
Hard habit to break, man.
Oh yeah, no, I need my fix. I never knew I was lactose intolerant. I just thought that every time because I would drink milk every day. I do milk and cereal as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I'd have like violent bowel movements.
Yeah.
And I just thought the diarrhea was the price we all paid.
Right.
For strong bones.
Same exact boat, man. My mom gave me foods I was allergic to my whole life. Like not maliciously.
Yeah.
It wasn't like some Munchausen.
Trying to slowly
Chinese peanuts, kid.
Make my child
Good
sick.
luck. Yeah, swell, child, swell.
Although she did know I was allergic to our cat, and she was like, sorry, I need a cat.
It's a good cat.
Yep, and the cat's great. Take these antihistamines. But I grew up thinking that like diarrhea 16 times a day was normal. Like having an ulcer by the time I was 21, like a bleeding ulcer. I was like, this is what happens. You get a little old.
Yeah.
And I finally went to a naturopath, and they were like, hold on. You thought that was okay? Like shitting 12 to 16 times a day? And then I had to change a lot of things. And turns out milk and eggs were big culprits.
Oh yeah. No, I found out I was lactose intolerant like when I was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it can get worse over time.
Certainly.
Like I didn't. Yeah.
Here's an interesting fact.
Oh.
Yeah. Factoid.
All right.
Factoid. If we can put up a little like a screen grab. Factoid. A Tyler fact. Delayed food sensitivities are what that's called. So what happens is we eat these foods like that we may have already a little intolerance to. And what happens is your body tries to tell you in certain ways. It's like, oh yeah, like maybe some diarrhea, whatever. And we keep eating it, especially eggs for me. I was like, eggs for breakfast, eggs for lunch. I loved eggs because your body eventually gives up on trying to show you subtle signs and makes you crave this thing that is actually harmful to your body to the point where you have to stop eating it. It's an actual function of the human body. So my body was like, you're not listening. I'm going to make you eat eggs 12 times a day now until you get the point. And so my body just got so sick and I had like inflammation and candida and all this stuff. And I ended up going to the doctor and they're like, yeah, that's called a delayed food sensitivity. It's like a really kind of miraculous thing the human body does.
What's candida?
Oh,
I've heard the
I was
word.
going to ask.
That's a yeast
I
overgrowth.
thought that was a novel by Voltaire.
Yes.
No. I'm not so familiar with Voltaire literary
It was
works.
Candide.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
Candide. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I've read it 4 times.
I read the Spark Notes in high school. Not
Oh,
the grad.
nice. Who's Voltaire? No, I'm just kidding.
He's an
Anyway,
electricity guy.
the Candida is kind of gross. It's a yeast thrush that grows inside your intestinal tract. And it just basically feeds off sugar. It just like eats. And then what happens is you end up getting these like spots all over your body that are like these little white fuzzy spots. And I went to a doctor at the time, and the doctor was like, yeah, you just got to put some Selsun Blue on that, which is like shampoo. And I was like, and then what? And he was like, well, the spots will go away. And I was like, well, what are they from, man? Where are the spots
We're
coming
not hitting
from?
the root here.
Yeah. And that's when I went to a naturopath.
Yeah. I'll stick with Voltaire, I guess.
All right. Candide?
Candide.
Candide.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Indeed, Candide.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed,
Yeah,
Candide. Well, we can all agree on Candide.
Um,
Yeah, that's it. So that was my fact. If anyone else has
yeah.
food facts,
Yeah.
thank you. So Maxx, you're a stand-up comedian.
I
We've
am.
already established that. How the fuck did you get into that, man? You're a young guy too, right? What do you like?
I just turned 32.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
that young.
So I
Okay.
got.
you look younger than you
I
are.
do look, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because by virtue of my pallor, I didn't go out in the sun too much. And me and him mortal enemies. If the sun is listening, tell him he can go fuck himself.
I hate
But,
the sun, man. I fucking hate
I
it.
don't know why I'm gendering the sun. That was he's probably a boy. It's just a
He's
lot
a
of
bully.
energy,
big boy.
very
Kinda
mean.
hot-headed.
Yeah,
Kinda
exactly.
hot-headed,
Pushy.
Yeah, very pushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did musical theater in high school, and that was like a big moment for me. I was like a very anxious child, and I think once I started performing, I was like, "Oh, this is fun. This is interesting to me."
Yeah.
And
It's a funnel.
yeah, it's nice. And then I went to college, and I was like, I probably can't make like performing happen for a living. It's you gotta live like a cockroach to make it happen, and it's tough. So I went to school for economics and statistics. And then after college, I started a job that I hated, and I went to an open mic just like, oh, I've always been enamored by stand-up comedy and stand-up comedians. And I was hooked from the beginning. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me live like a cockroach.
What is that with you hear that a lot, like the addiction to the craft. What is that for you? What was it filling? What void was that filling for you?
I think what it was is like it's a way to live creatively. Like you control everything in there. Like you are the performer, you're the director, you're the writer, and so total creative control. And it also forced me to look more deeply and delicately at the world around me. It's like, oh, if the job I was doing post-college was like data analysis type of stuff, and it was intellectually engaging. I was myopic. I wasn't like able to like look at the world around me. I was just like, oh, I just have this data set and I got to figure it out. And comedy, it's like, oh, the more you learn about everything and anything in the world, the stronger your perspective will be and the stronger your material will be. It had, because it had this kind of natural feedback mechanism to just exploration and learning, I was like, that's cool. And also I get to talk about my dick on stage. That's kind of
yeah. Tell me your dick and
Yeah,
exactly.
Great, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
where else do you get to do
tell me about your dick.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want dimensions?
Anything you want.
Proportions.
Just give me the points that you want.
The
big
big
points.
Let's. I'll give you the average points. And
I have a lot of comic friends, you know, and there's I think like a pretty commonality, like a common sort of thread is that like the addiction comes from this like, you know, immediate response. The fact that you say something and people react right there in the room and you're getting this validation on the spot. Maybe you needed some validation in your life. You know, I know a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of generalizations about comics being really dark and depressed and like, you know, that makes you a better comic. Did you find that any of that was true for you? Like, did you get hooked on the validation, or was it?
The validation is nice.
Yeah.
Like you hear that laugh response in real time. It feels amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting a lot of those laugh responses in the early goings.
Yeah.
I was very bad at it at the beginning, as a lot of people are. But whenever it did hit, I was like, oh, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Is that what kept you going in the beginning?
I think so. If I had like never gotten a laugh in the first year, I would have been like, yeah, I think I'm done here. But because I was getting one once a week while attempting 7 times a week, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Let me see if I can get better. And
it's potent.
Potent shit. It's intoxicating.
I mean, I come from a comedy acting background, like improv comedy. I'm not a comedian. I tried it though, man. I went and did a set on stage, a 5-minute open mic set, and just shit the bed so bad. It was not, you know what I mean? It didn't fit for me. Yeah. But as a performer, as a comedic performer, like getting laughs.
You had it written all out. I mean, you had worked on it before that.
The set? Yeah. I wrote like jokes into the whole thing and it just was not good.
Because I have like a 5-minute set, but I've not ever done it.
I want to do it again. I would like to do it again. Like I was 20 years old. Yeah. And I've been doing improv comedy.
We should.
We got time today, boys.
You'd be our mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be the worst mentor of all time. There's just not nearly enough mention of your dicks, fellas. I don't know.
Oh, no. Mine's all about my dick.
Good. See, this guy might make it.
Mine's mostly about my butt.
Well, that's fine. We'll play off each other.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
Man, the potency of laughter or any form of validation, I think most performers can agree. It's like, love me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I was watching some of your stand-up. Like, you were very blatantly said that your stepdad was a big upgrade from your dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is, people, the bit is like, people give step-parents a bad rap, but my stepdad was an upgrade. Like, my stepdad was like an iPhone, and my real dad was like an alcoholic. And so it's like more features, less vomit. It's great.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the more I've explored just those dynamics, I think the more rich my comedy has become. I mean, you guys talk a lot about vulnerability and just being open with each other as men. And in my line of work, not only does that make me feel better, like it gives me a more full existence, it also informs the comedy quite a bit. Right. Like you have to be vulnerable, otherwise you're not saying anything interesting.
Yeah, well, and that's what resonates with audiences, right? Is when they see themselves.
Who was the religious? I heard you had a religious upbringing. Was that your dad, or was it?
It was more my dad. My religious upbringing, it's interesting. My parents had us go to church.
Yeah,
but my parents weren't as avidly religious. I actually kind of brought my own religiosity out. I was the one who like pushed, like, I'm gonna go to church, I'm gonna go to youth group. It was before I was doing musical theater. I think it was because I was this anxious kid, and like through religion I was finding purpose and a sense of self.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, let me do it. And also trying to hide the fact that I was maybe interested in men sexually.
I want to talk about that too.
Exactly.
But I think religion is ripe for parody. Did you eventually sort of move away from the religion because you were like, oh God, this is fucked up. This is like fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
I started reading a couple history books.
Right. Yeah.
Seeing what had happened when some people were really adamant about their God's teachings and went a little cray-cray, I would say.
Never a good outcome. It's never been a good outcome.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my official description of the Spanish Inquisition, by the way. It was cray-cray.
It was cray-cray. Yeah. Quote.
Yeah.
Yes, you're openly bi, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not so hip with the religious folks either.
Certainly not.
More now. I think the Pope was like, yeah.
And I've come to find that a lot of people, especially in the context of comedy, even if they like, if you got down to brass tacks with someone that was like super Christian, they're at your show, and like if you had the deep conversation with them, they'd be like, oh yeah, you're going to hell. Thankfully, like they can still have a good time at the show and hear the jokes about it. Has been my experience.
Yeah. I do want to talk about your bisexuality because I'm fascinated with it, because I myself sometimes identify as bisexual. I've talked about it on the show. I'm like, I've been in heterosexual relationships my whole life, but I've always been like, I don't know if I'm totally just a straight guy. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the LGBTQ, right? So, yeah, exactly.
So I know.
Even gay folks are like, oh, bisexuality is not real, but it fucking is, man. Yeah. Like it super is, right?
Absolutely.
But it's confusing. I don't know if I even have the right to identify, because I think we've been taught like, well, you have to got to make up your mind definitively one way or another, right?
But isn't everyone a little bit?
That's what I think. I think everyone's a little gay, man. Absolutely. And if you're not, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Because at the end of the day, what is sex but just getting the part of you touched that it feels best to get touched?
Right.
Because if you go like this and you just whatever's happening down there is just it just feels good on a purely biological level.
If you're gonna boil it down to biological, like physiological experience.
Exactly.
But then I think where it gets complicated, where people often complicate it, is like, well, where's the relationship element of it coming from? Do you want to have a relationship with a man, or a relationship with a woman? It can't be both. What's your experience with that?
I haven't been in a lot of relationships, honestly.
Okay.
I think by virtue of doing comedy, my life ends up, I'm just cockroaching around, just
Right.
But my experience has been like I've been romantically attracted to people of various gender identities, and that's never been the main focus of my romantic attraction, their gender identity.
Right,
it's just
right,
like, oh, I like this person because we can fucking smoke weed and watch Breaking Bad together. I'm not like, oh, they were born with a pussy or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
right.
It's and I realize that is important to a lot of people.
Sure.
I'll joke that the way I approach relationships is gay in the cultural sense. Like it's like, oh yeah, no, I just like talking. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I feel pretty lucky to be liberated in that sense. I'm like, oh yeah, if I like you, I like you.
How did you arrive at that liberation? Like, I think it's murky at best, like that feeling. I know that I had a lot in my life was like, well, what? It would just like kind of creep in from time to time, and I was like, well, I'm going to put that away.
Yeah.
The navigation of it is very complicated. Did you come to a deliberation easily, or was it
It took a long time because I was taught, being religious, that it was wrong to have romantic or sexual feelings about a man. But then I went to Berkeley, and it's sort of the anti-church
right.
place.
It'll undo what's been done.
Exactly. It is, and I mean this in a positive way, a godless place. I mean that purely positively. But I didn't even come out until I was probably 23. Because I was still like, I went through waves of it. Like when I was young and religious, I was like, I can't be anything but straight. And then when I was transitioning, my way of compartmentalizing that transition to acceptance was being like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally cool with anybody being cool. I'm not, but I'm totally cool. Everyone knows, dude, if you guys want, I mean, that's not my scene. I did musical theater. I know I could have done it, but I totally didn't. And then after a while I was like, oh, I would like that.
Right. Yeah.
Why can't I just accept? And then finally we got there. But yeah, I think that middle layer of it was the strangest, where I was like totally accepting of anyone else, but then I would be like, no, I've come to this conclusion for myself that I am not, while denying any evidence in thought of that being the case.
But did everyone else know though? They're like, come on, Max, what are you talking about?
I've had a lot in the other direction where people have been like, dude, you seem straight. Like, what? Like, I've had people accuse me of. I've had straight allegations, dude. Like, you gotta watch out in the press.
Pretty salacious.
And I'll be like, yo, check the Grindr profile, dog. Yeah, come on, check the pics, check the messages. But it's almost a compliment when someone would say, like, you don't seem like gay at all. Not because I think that's a bad thing, but because it's like, yeah, that's what I was going for about 20 years. So sorry, I'm an actor.
Yeah. I had a similar thing. When I really reached a critical point in my sort of introspection about my sexuality, and sort of like half-assedly told my wife at the time and my family. Like I actually went whole hog. I was like, I'm doubling down on this, but I wasn't totally sure. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of my family was like, dude, no, you're not. No. And I was like, well, no. And then they kind of convinced me, like, right, yeah. Because my whole life has been hetero. But like, I don't know how to talk about it anymore other than say, like, there's just always been this other thing. It's not necessarily even a thing that I want to act on, but I'm starting to understand that there's all these levels of identifying and queerness that are like, I don't need to call it anything other than that's just me.
Exactly.
I just have these things and feelings.
Yeah.
I love that you broke it down to a biological essence too. It's like, yeah, certain things feel good to get touched.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler has a partner. I don't. So I'm like just a year out
Gay.
of, a little over a year, having my own place and kind of being back in the dating pool a little bit, and haven't done a ton, but it is interesting, being on the apps and stuff, how sexuality is portrayed and how I've been reevaluating what my sexuality is. And because it was just like, oh, it's this one thing. And now I was like, well, now I'm middle-aged, and it's like, I can kind of be honest with myself. And I just, because I don't know that I ever really thought about it other than I'm straight, you know, and that is, I'm straight, but I'm also like, I've been kind of dating this woman who's queer and it's kind of interesting, and she happens to be poly. And so I'm like, well, if we're dating, am I poly now too? Just by virtue of dating someone who's poly? And I'm like, I guess so. I mean, I don't know, but you know, but you're also like trying to navigate that as like this new relationship paradigm of like, because jealousy has always been a huge thing in my life. All of a sudden to have to like shut off, or I don't think you have to, but I think if you want to date someone who's poly, probably best to shut off the jealousy fire hydrant.
Or just spend 8 hours a day just mad as shit. What is she doing?
There's something to that. There's something there. It's like, it's exciting.
But then that's like the gateway to, there's all these other experiences that I could have too. Am I interested in that? And where are the lines, and what, if I want to experiment, what and who is it with,
But you've told me about these, like, what is it called again? These groups that you meet up with? You have drinks with people and talk, like, what is it called? Munching?
Max is getting freaked out here.
No, I'm not freaked out. I just love how you describe, these groups that you freaked out.
There's a name. It's like
when they slaughter pigs.
Yeah. Well, usually in basements of churches. And
there's
that's AA, so that's me.
Yeah, there's these meetups for like the kink community, and they're called sloshes.
Sloshes.
Yeah.
I've not heard them called sloshes. I've heard them called play parties.
Well, that's different. So
okay,
I think a play party is.
Let's get specific.
They sound different.
Yeah.
Clear. So
well, a play party is like a sex party. I don't know. I've never been to one.
Yeah.
But a slosh is it's like a mixer at a bar.
Gotcha.
You go, and it's just like literally just meeting people who are aligned in the kind of kink community, which is everything from like
kink, right?
like BDSM to polyamory to swinging. You could be really vanilla and still be there, and maybe even just have a mindset of like, oh, I'm kink positive, and or just
curious.
I think they're all over at different bars, and there's just online communities that's what they call it when they meet up. And I think if it's at a restaurant, it's called a munch. If it's at a bar, it's called a slosh.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cleverly named. Yeah. So I've been to a couple of those. Nothing has really come of it, but it's just kind of fun. Like I knew someone who was kind of in there, and they're like, well, I should come. Yeah. And so it's like, okay. Like I'm not sure that it's totally my scene or like these people are my people, but it's pretty cool to be there and to feel like, well, I can be whoever I want. And and it's beautiful that these people are in a space where they feel like that the things that they're into can be accepted.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you mingle in that room, because like kink is just kink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like tendency to like put people in these, sort of categories and boxes, and you think, oh my God, well, that's not for me. And that's just kink. That's not, you can't hang your hat on your kink, you know what I mean?
Well, we all have kinks, right? Everyone has a kink, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, so.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
No.
Not you.
Exactly.
Not you, the bisexual stand-up comedian.
That is how I do
it.
Straight, exactly. For procreative purposes only.
Yeah. Get making babies, man. So how many kids do you have?
0 that I know of. But I've been trying, man.
Working on it. Yeah.
That's a bit I tried to do on stage that never worked. Where I go, I'm trying to have a kid right now. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm just not working on them, and we'll see what happens. And no one likes when I say that.
Tyler, I think one of the best things about this show is connecting. And I feel like we've connected so much, but it's also we have been connecting with our audience.
Indeed.
And we really can't do it without that connection, without the support of our listeners. We would love to invite all of you to become love bugs. If you're listening to this, you might already be a love bug and you just don't know it yet. But you can go to patreon.com/ILYSM pod and join our community. There's free memberships. There's memberships that are very, $5-10 a month.
Yeah,
it's very affordable. We got the $100 ones where you can be like our buddies, Jonathan Newman and Robin Regier. Get a shout out on all the episodes. So on Patreon, you're going to get ad-free version of the show. You're going to get my songs of the week. You're going to get Tyler's Tuesday Tales, a lot of other stuff. And we are also in there in the chat. We read the messages. And honestly, we really do need that support to keep the lights on here. So we appreciate anything you guys can do. So if you want to help us out, want to be part of the community, go to patreon.com/ILYSM pod. We love you so much. Thank you, love bugs.
I love you guys.
The difference between bisexuality and like pansexuality, are you, is
nominal at best.
Nominal,
I'll very occasionally get flack from someone who's chronically online if I talk about being bisexual, where they'll be like, well, bisexual actually implies a gender binary that doesn't exist, and you're a fucking monster. And it's like, thankfully, that's the 0.001% population that I'm like, oh, I don't have to care what you think.
Yeah.
For the most part, like I've talked with a lot of bi and pan people who identify as one or the other. It's very much like which word do you like more?
Oh,
Right. It comes down to. I think the people who have strong opinions about it are the ones who are annoying for other
assholes,
reasons, anyways.
Yeah. Nitpicky assholes. Sorry, I shouldn't say assholes. You have an opinion.
Yeah, actually, I remember I was on stage one time, and a lady who happened to have blue hair, which is kind of the telltale sign that maybe you might be a little more open, a little more fluid. Yeah. But she mentioned something about being with a woman. I'm like, oh, you're bi? She's like, well, I'm pan. And I go, I'm like, oh, let me take this as an educational moment. Just so you know, if you don't know, pansexual is pretty much the same thing as bisexual, but she thinks she's better than me. And so that's the main distinction.
That's what I'm talking about. Even the term pansexual is more acceptable than bisexual.
It's
man.
great.
Oy.
Right. Well, because it does like encompass these like non-binary, you know. Right. So I mean, I get it. I get why some people would feel it's important to use that word.
I think it's like the epitome of not choosing. And people hate that.
Exactly. That's true.
Pick, man. Pick one
side.
Yeah. It's good to talk about this stuff, but I also find that like this is not the only reason you're here, because we want to talk about your sexuality. Because sexuality is whatever it is, you know. What I'm also very interested in is body issues. And I know you put some things online about sort of your taking your shirt off, feeling more comfortable with your own body.
So
big
the last half of the podcast is going to be shirtless.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, you're there now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're comfortable. Yeah. So what journey have you been on with with your body?
I was always very small growing up. Like I was like stick thin. My mom wouldn't let me eat red meat as a kid because she's a nurse and she knows that a lot of it.
Heme iron.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on with the red meat. She didn't want to have an overweight son, and that was, and instead she got a bisexual son. So you know, we all make trade-offs, mama. Come on,
swap, fair trade.
But I was a big like football fan growing up, and my dad was kind of a grizzly, like man's man type of guy. So I always like wanted to be bigger. So anytime I was like at the beach or anything, and also just the pale is like you take your shirt off and everyone's just blinded.
Right.
It was always a little rough, but I think one of the ways I've gotten comfortable is occasionally having bits where I take off my shirt on stage.
Right.
And it's felt like liberating. I have a funny story where I did it very antagonistically that I'll maybe we don't have time for.
But, no, we do, and we definitely want to hear it. Yeah.
My current closer right now is because I've got this crazy hour story thing that I'm working on, and it's basically me trying to discover my masculinity. And a big part of it is that I met a girl on the internet during the pandemic who lived in Brazil. I told my mom I was thinking about going down to Brazil to meet this girl, and my mom freaked out. She's like, you cannot go to Brazil to meet someone you've never met before. Like, you could be getting catfished. Like, this could just be some Brazilian man. And I was like, well, sounds like a win-win, Mom. I don't know. It would be so funny if I went down there and I met him and I had to pretend to be mad that he catfished me. I'm just like, you fucking lied to me, man. I can't fucking believe you. I take my shirt, I fully unbutton it. And then I end up like getting down on my knees as I'm just berating the guy in the joke.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. And every time I do it, I'm like, one, I like the joke, so I know it's going to kill. And two, it's like, oh, this is like a level of openness that I would have never had when I started comedy or when I was a kid or anything like that. So
that's cool, nice, man. Yeah. Like, you're big on liberation, obviously.
Exactly.
Just looking for liberation in all the corners. But like, opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I was a kid that wouldn't take my shirt off at the beach because I was overweight, also very pale. Canadian, French Canadian, not French Canadian. I'm Canadian of Parisian French heritage.
That's nice.
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've had other guests on that have talked a lot about their body issues and everything. But like, it's funny to me how it doesn't occur to me often the other end of the spectrum where you came from, where you were like, I feel too small. For me, my whole journey has been like, get smaller, get thinner, get smaller. And then it was like, get more jacked, which we can probably meet somewhere in that region. I think the ramifications emotionally from considering yourself too slim are just as damaging, right? Like that can really affect your whole outlook on yourself, I'm assuming.
Like, I think the biggest thing I'm working on is I'll occasionally have like anger issues and stuff. It all stems from the body image issues I had.
The red
like
hair.
In the red hair. But no, I had like the worst Napoleonic complex when I was a kid. And actually, I mean, Napoleonic complex doesn't really hit at the heart of it. Napoleon had an army.
Yeah.
So like he was short, but he had an army. I had 2 small hands and an affinity for getting into trouble. Like anytime I had my masculinity even questioned in passing, like I would just get really angry so as to be like, they can't tell I'm small anymore because I'm loud.
Right.
And they'll never guess that I'm insecure if I yell at them. I almost got my ass beat by an Irish dude at a bar one time just because I was talking, he said something. Let me explain.
You were beaking off to an Irish guy.
Yes. Here's the thing. I love a Shirley Temple.
What's not to love, man?
Let me start there.
Yeah.
And I was at a karaoke bar that I love, and I ordered a Shirley Temple, and I ordered it loud enough to where this Irish dude next to me like laughed at me.
Yeah.
I turned to him and he goes, "That's my niece's favorite drink." Yeah. And I was enjoying a Shirley. I wasn't registering that he was making fun of me. So I was like, "Oh, that's." Yeah. She has great taste.
Cool.
He goes, "How many cherries are you gonna get in?" I'm like, "Dude, literally the maximum. If I could order a whole cup of cherries, dude, sign me up. I'm the maraschino man."
Yeah.
He got annoyed that I wasn't getting it, so then he called me some name like Fairy Boy or something, and I was like, first of all, half. But so, it's a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
And he later in the night, he got up to sing a song. It's one of my favorite songs. It's Fat Bottom Girls by Queen, sung by the famously straight Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
And he goes up, he's singing it. He's being weird. Like, no one likes this guy's vibe in our karaoke bar. So what I did, I bribed the karaoke DJ to let me go next. And I sang the exact same song after him.
Nice.
Which is you're not supposed to do that at all. And I was like talking shit from the stage to him.
Right.
I was just like, "Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Fuck you. I like cherries. Suck my dick." Like, just like insane. And then like I see in the back of the room, he's with his buddy. He's like mad that I'm doing this. Obviously, like I'm karaoke cucking him, dude.
Yeah. And, well, you're intentionally trying to get his ire up, man.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, the Irish are famously peaceful. What are we talking about? But but then I see him talking with his buddy in the back, and their body language is very much like, oh, he's deciding whether or not to come kick my ass. And instead of just letting it go, I'm like, no, I'm on top right now. I start narrating his conversation.
Nice.
In the worst Irish accent I can muster. I'm like, "Oi, do you think you should go beat him up? Oh, I just don't know if I have the potatoes in my scrotum." Like, just shit. I said that verbatim. And then he rushes the stage. And thankfully I had friends who like got in the way and stopped him. But I'm like, after reflecting on that, I'm like, oh, I need therapy. Like, this is me getting into situations.
The reactivity is what you got to look at there, because like before you realized that he was having a go, you didn't give a shit.
Exactly.
That's a nice place to live.
Do you think you could have taken him?
Not even remotely.
He was coming at you with a headbutt. I guarantee you a headbutt was coming.
At the time, I was rock climbing a lot, so I could have escaped upward. But in terms of like direct physical combat, it was not going to work.
Yeah, I think it's funny, the correlation between like masculinity and like violence and size and like anger. Yeah. That's all the shit that we talk about on the show. Like, why is that the thing that we're modeled as being masculine? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, biceps, literally killing hundreds of people, more bullets, more, also like real rapey shit, like just taking what you want, lying to get the girl, all that shit that we now look at and go like, man, why is that tantamount to masculinity?
Yeah, and I think about it, like a lot of what I've been trying to figure out and discover and put out into the world is about like the mutability of masculinity. Like it's the acceptance that these old paradigms, like I think about like physical strength being considered a masculine trait.
Yeah,
that makes sense because it used to be evolutionarily beneficial.
Yeah.
Like strongest survive, Darwin, we have designed a society wherein you don't need to be physically strong to make. Look at the people with like the most money and resources in the world. Yeah. They're all fucking weird small dorks. Like, and
then get ripped after they get the
exactly.
money.
Bezos wasn't fucking looking like a dildo until after he had accumulated those resources.
He does look like a dildo.
Exactly, he really does, and a good one, like one that you would buy. Deluxe. It would be expensive on Amazon to buy the Bezos dildo. It'd be a premium product, Amazon exclusive, but you can't get it on Temu, not the image.
No.
And this is like, I like that we now have a civil society where you don't need to be physically strong because the implications of that society are like, oh yeah, you could have a place where you live and a family, and any day if a big strong guy came to your door, he could fuck it all up and take everything you ever had.
Right.
Like, it's what makes us human, is the fact that we have built a society where we are not subject to the laws of nature, but the definitions we have of masculinity are often still tied so tightly to those ideas.
Well, that's why I'm curious about your physical aspirations. Like, you have wanted to get large, right? Your whole life, and you are, right? You're working out. And you're trying to get. I have the same thing. I wanted to get tiny, but then I was like, but that's not enough. Now I need to get like jacked, and it's like, it's kind of a fruitless endeavor. Honestly, I don't need muscles for much.
For one. And also, it eventually goes away. Like, it's ephemeral. That's not necessarily a good reason to not aspire to it. Like, Schwarzenegger's wasn't sitting there at 30 jacked as hell like, what is the point?
He's like, just going to go. Gave me everything I ever wanted.
My muscles feel fitter. Like, no, it goes away. And on top of that, like, it's like, I think I don't have like specific physical aspirations. Like, for me now, exercise or the pursuit of further health is to supplement my mental health.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
Because I'm like, I think I could be comfortable if I was 100 pounds heavier, just in terms of myself. Because I'm like, I'm not like, I'm bringing other things to the table besides my physical body. I like my mind. I like the way I think, all that stuff. But I realized, like, oh, I just feel so much better when I'm exercising regularly and eating better, and I feel worse when I don't. And it's just gives me the clarity to keep stuff going.
It's immediately evident, right? Like, I've often found myself in these like afternoon sort of lulls, these like mires that you're in, and you're like, oh man, can't control shit. I'm like, oh wait, I can go to the gym right now. The discipline, I love, because it's like, I know I'm going to do that every day. I know I'm going to do it at some point today. Usually it's scheduled, which is more discipline. And then B, like, I can't control anything, man, but I can actually control in that moment what I'm going to do with my body. Exactly. And if it's going to be beneficial for me for longevity, for heart health, whatever it is, if muscles come along with it,
I'll take them.
I'll take the fucking muscles. I'll tell you what,
it's nice.
I'll take them in spades all day.
Yeah.
I like my muscles. I'm proud of them, but it's also, I think it's just because they're an indication of what I chose.
Exactly.
I chose to be healthy and to like to take control of the one thing. It was what I put in here and what my output is with my body. Those are the only things I can control, and they make a huge difference in my mental health. Like, before I got on antidepressants, that was my antidepressant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just didn't cut it after all.
Well, Well, now you got to
only redline it at the gym for so many hours a day.
It something. It doesn't do everything.
It doesn't do everything.
No. Yeah. But you're finding now though that you like your body image is okay. I mean,
I think so. I feel good, and I got back into rock climbing, which I love. And
I couldn't do that.
Dude, it's so fun.
I physically can't. My fingers are.
No, just you got to believe in yourself, boys. Right. It takes a little while, but you'll get there.
I got a lot of weight to pull up those rocks. So,
See, everyone says that, but it's all technique,
legs,
baby.
yeah.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take you to the gym. I'm gonna get you up the wall. You're just gonna be so shocked at how high you soar. It's gonna be great. But no, it's actually, in terms of my like body image journey, it's kind of a fun place for it to end for me, because like rock climbing is like, you don't want to be jacked for that,
right?
Because like if Arnold Schwarzenegger having to pull all that muscle up the wall, it's like, it's inefficient. And so for me, I'm like, oh yeah, if I can carry myself up the wall, that feels good, no matter what size I am.
Yeah, I have a friend who is a rock climber who that is the physical type that he wanted that specifically. It's like there's runners' bodies, there's swimmers' bodies, and then the rock climber body is just like, like lean, shredded, sinewy, like power.
One of my favorite
power
words.
too, right? Like it looks like the body lines up in a way with rock climbing that is really in alignment with what maybe we're supposed to use our muscles for.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like pulling ourselves up. Like I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I was dangling off the edge of a cliff if I could save myself.
Oh no, I'd be.
I think I can now.
I don't think I could even dangle.
A lot of my life, I was like, "There's no way." If I in some weird turn of fate, I tumbled off of a cliff and I was hanging onto the only root that was holding me, I would just die. That would be the end.
No,
I wouldn't be able to.
Me too. Absolutely. I've never once done a pull up.
Yeah. Oh, I can do pull ups if it's in the proper environment.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
What do you? What is no?
Pull ups are very satisfying.
Well, I wouldn't know.
We're gonna get you there.
We're gonna get you there.
Oh God,
we're gonna get you there, Reed. Between the two of us.
All right, then we'll have a pull-up competition on the show.
Well, now you're taking it too far. Now you're taking it too far.
Just a demonstration.
Let's do a pull-up collaboration.
Let's just get to one pull-up first, and then we'll talk about competitions. Yeah, the body issue stuff is again, we were talking about things that are ripe for comedy. Like, fuck, man, it's like we've talked about it a lot on the show. You can really mine that for gold, man. But I think it's interesting that you found confidence and liberation through like, you're not, because I don't like when people mock themselves in comedy. I don't like, and I know people feel like that's victimless if you're making fun of yourself or whatever, but I think it's pretty damaging. But you're like doing both at the same time. You're sort of being vulnerable in a way that you haven't been before, but you're also liberating yourself in multiple ways with your physicality. And I think that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's all I wanted to say. That wasn't a question. It started as a question and it turned into a statement.
And I was here for it the whole time.
Good for you, man.
Lovely.
The ILYSM guide on what not to do on dating apps.
Right on.
So we're going to review these dating app message threads and provide a key takeaway on what not to do as you approach relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an expert on this. This is great.
Let's see.
This is one of my areas of expertise. Yeah.
Luke says, "Can we put peanut butter on my balls and you lick it off?" And then the respondent says, literally, "What the fuck?" And then he says, "That wasn't a no." And then it is a no.
You gotta offer jelly. You can't just, peanut butter is a complimentary flavor and it doesn't go well with balls. So you gotta throw something else in there.
It takes over the whole palate.
Exactly.
Peanut butter.
No,
you need something to cut it.
And so this looks like it came after you liked Luke's photo in the thread. So Luke took liking of the photo
as a green light,
as a license to PB the Beast.
Yes,
it's probably a photo of his dog.
Yeah, because like literally,
actually,
and then next step is
the only way that this is rational is if the photo she liked is a photo of his balls covered in peanut butter.
Yeah. Which it probably wasn't.
Then it's a natural. Then I'd be on Luke's side. I'd be like, well, that seems to be what she enjoyed about his profile.
Right. Well, yeah, and then so clearly it comes out of left field because she says literally, "What the fuck." And okay. I think the guide on this is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Well, don't lead with it.
Yeah. Well, not even lead. I mean, whatever. Don't.
No. Look, there is a time you can say that. There is absolutely a safe time.
Absolutely,
yes.
It's the second
but it has to be. It has to be in a safe.
Yeah, you have to build. You have to build up. If you think the response to you saying, "Can we put peanut butter on my balls and you lick it off?" that one of the responses could be literally what the fuck?
Yeah.
You do not say
don't send
it.
That. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because maybe she's allergic.
Yeah. I also want to point out there's nothing wrong with wanting to smear your balls with peanut butter. If that's your thing.
That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about what is appropriate in the DMs.
Just need the right
of your dating.
Exactly.
Need the right recipient.
Consent is key.
Seems like that's something we got to ask about first.
Yeah, I think that's a classic work up to that if that's what you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think there probably isn't a lot of like patience on dating apps, right? I think it's like such a convenient thing. Do people just skip all the necessary?
I think my problem is like I would not, okay, that peanut butter's not my thing, but like I'm not going to be that forward. And I think I'm actually, if I get to the point where I'm DMing someone on an app, I'm much more like, I don't want them to think I'm creepy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say anything suggestive, sexual, or anything.
So you really go.
I'm really like,
slow. You feather the brakes.
What did you think about that book you just read?
Right.
That's exactly. Like I'm much more
like
that.
That's a little transparent too, though. I feel like that could be like if you're like very intentionally like dragging the point.
I don't think it's some dragging. It's just like the get to know you stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's not. I mean, I genuinely want to get to know them.
And this is just a genuine question because I've never done this. don't a lot of people want to get to the point on dating apps though? Isn't that sort of the thing? Like get to like where, or is that more of a grinder thing?
I think that you're bringing up a good point. There's segmentation by app at this point.
Right,
Like
right.
My understanding of Hinge is that you're generally looking for a relationship,
Yes.
or at least something where there's more consistent interaction and some sort of romantic or emotional, or at least intellectual connection. But something like Grindr or Field, I think, is the one
You're just looking to.
is just.
Well, Field is very sex forward. Exactly. I mean, I have a Field account, but it's also, I mean, it's everything. It's kind of the slosh of the of the dating app,
or the munch, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. Where it is people saying, "Oh, I'm here, looking for I want to get married and have a kid,"
right?
But they also want to do it with someone who's open to, who's in touch with their sexuality, and it cultivates a certain kind of person on that app, right? And so I do think there is the aspect of just straight up for a hookup, but I don't think the thing is, I don't think I have the confidence to like do that, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I'm creepy, or
well, like you were saying,
and also I don't want to blow it, because
know your app though.
because I'm actually that's the thing is, I'm not after just a hookup. I mean, that's the thing, right? I'm not looking for a long-term relationship, but I want something that's meaningful. Like physical intimacy, sure, important, great, but I want it to be meaningful. I feel like leading with being very sex forward,
peanut butter on your balls,
leading with that is a little disingenuous, for me, for my goals on these apps.
Obviously, there's like a lot of shock value, and maybe they were looking for a bit of a laugh in there too. You know what I mean?
I'm certain that's kind of what they're.
Yeah, I don't think it was literally like, "Come on, let's just do this right now."
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, anyway, let's move on. I guess the moral of that story is know your app, right? Know the app you're on. What up, milk bags? I'm going to try to do my best impression of this guy. What up, milk bags? I'm currently off 6 Slim Jims and 4 lines of crushed Blue True, trying to see how far I can get my nose in it. Anyway, you're actually pretty huge, and that shit probably squee. Let me know.
Yeah. So this is nice of you guys to change my name on it. This is a message I sent.
Right. Yeah, translate, please.
And we're engaged.
Oh, it worked.
It worked out great.
Yeah. Oh, Dimitri. That's your online name, obviously.
Yeah.
First of all, referring to anybody as milk bags, not a good idea.
That's insane.
Not a great way to lead off again.
This almost seems like a bit.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be a bit. I mean, who's eaten 6 Slim Jims?
I definitely have.
I mean, what size is Slim?
I definitely have never crushed 4 lines of Blue Chew. Yeah, it also like all the little like isms in there. Trina, squee, huge, what up with 2 D's.
Yeah,
it's just fucking lame. It's just lame.
Yeah,
it's a lame.
Our note is
that
don't be
whole
lame.
thing is lame. Yeah. But it may be a bit.
Or if you're gonna be lame, just be funny while being lame. Like make it a silly little thing.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just lame.
It's not doing it.
First round.
Okay. Oh, so this is on Hinge, because I just got a Hinge account, so I know what it looks like. So it's one of the prompts. First round is on me if you can do the splits. Someone says, I'm flexible, but not that flexible. You crying face emoji. I guess the first round is on you then. Cry. And then how many rounds for you to get drunk so I can take advantage of...
and then a purple devil face.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like, this one's tragic because it almost worked.
Yeah.
Like his first line was great. And then just went creepy and weird and illegal almost immediately.
Well, at least he was open about being illegal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Filtering themselves out.
Yeah. I mean, geez. I think my advice for this guy is to just be a different person.
Yeah.
Because that's horrible.
Well, and just putting a little purple impish devil at the end of that sentence doesn't make it cute.
No.
You're just saying
it's like, no, what
awful.
you're describing is illicit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, and just like how much he jumped up in his emoji game. He had the that's an appropriate first emoji. And
he's trying to make rape cute.
Yeah. It's not.
It's
ever.
That's my hot take. Rape's not cute.
Rape's not cute. Right. Yeah. Pass. Move on. What do you swipe? Which way do you swipe? Right?
That you actually swiped right. You actually technically just accepted it. Which means you condone it.
I don't know how to swipe.
Hey, handsome. How are you?
Oh, that's HRU. Okay.
Yeah. No, sorry.
I know. I didn't know.
I know the verbiage, not to brag, but hey, I'm well. How's you? Okay. Yeah. I'm decent. Just had a nice lazy day and having a nice long bath. Just having a both. She's just having a threesome. Just having a both.
That's your thing.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Having a nice long bath now, so can't complain. Nice. Washing that bumhole. And it's, I mean, the thing is with this one, she's probably like Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
But like, I mean, that's part of it for sure.
Yeah, we don't need to directly address the washing of the butthole. Oh man,
I like the idea that he was coming from an earnest place. Like, this is important to me. Like, you were washing that bumhole though, and she's like,
she was so nice too.
She was so nice.
Hey,
such a great
handsome. That's nice. How are you?
lovely.
And it's a little bit like it's showing a little interest, right? It's like that's complimentary.
If I got, hey, handsome, how are you? I would think she was trying to scam me.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It was,
Yeah.
No, but then
$2,500?
she clearly is not, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
I'm decent.
This
Just
is
had
great.
a nice. You are decent. I can tell. Just had a nice lazy day and having a nice long bath, which is also fairly open.
Yes.
Like
And
here,
robust,
I'm letting you
yes.
know that I'm in a relaxed place. I want to have a maybe this chat could lead to something, and then he fucking.
It's also the punctuation choice after bumhole suggests a level of hesitation that should have stopped the message from happening in the first.
Right.
Nice.
There's
Like,
an
is it a winky
ellipsis,
face? Yeah,
ellipsis
nice.
after that. Yeah.
Even that though, why is it a winky? Oh, I guess because you're in the bath, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
washing that
Yeah.
bumhole
Nice.
question mark. And then most of it
Ellipsis,
ellipses.
Like
Yeah.
the delivery of washing that bumhole feels like
Yeah.
washing that bumhole.
Yeah. Is this okay?
Like, I'm so fucking nervous right now, man.
Yeah, I think the advice is leave it a text short.
Yeah.
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, like that's pretty
just really
typical,
think
isn't it?
before you before you send. You just pause before you hit send.
There isn't a level of impatience, right? And it's funny that
Yeah.
we're assuming with all of these that it's a guy
Of course.
Well, I mean,
jumping to because it is. It fucking is, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Also says delivered what is that? Would that be
Oh, that's-
8:22 p.m.?
Yeah, 8:22.
You're not supposed to
yeah.
ask about buttholes before 9. That's
Yes.
my rule.
Generally, I didn't know
That's
that.
That's a post 9 p.m.
That's a grinder rule.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
It applies to many, but that
Late
is
night-
where
late
its
night
origin.
butthole questions.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
this
this
one's a
one's a
woman.
woman. All right.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Why hello?
Curtsies.
You gotta hit that.
Oh, why hello, sir? Curtsies. Nice to meet you today. Giggles. What's a handsome man like you doing this morning? Raises an eyebrow.
Oh.
That's fun. I do imagine her wearing a fedora while texting this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the whole thing?
But this would be her first message after meeting somebody.
Well, hello, sir.
Nice to meet you today. Giggles. What's a handsome man like you doing this morning?
It's like
Raises eyebrow.
reading like some dialogue from an anime.
But
Yeah. Well,
and
it's
then
just- it just
raises
seems
an
like
eyebrow has one asterisk and one quotation.
no, see that's what I hate about this. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta match.
Yeah.
You gotta
If you're
match.
going, that's your theme clearly.
Yeah.
The asterisk, giggles, curtsies.
I bet
and then,
she is kicking herself for that accidental quotation mark at the
Yeah,
end.
she's looking for the edit button. Oh,
So
fuck.
that was the weird part.
Yeah.
a woman coming on to me like that, I would maybe, I might have to ignore how dorky that message is and be like, well,
There could be
You know,
something very cute brewing
yeah,
there, like
exactly.
it's not, I wouldn't say that's like an unforgivable message at all.
No,
It's a little cringy though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
it's cringy and dorky. I think
Yeah.
more than disgusting.
Like
I mean-
I see that, and I'm like, within 5 messages, she's gonna invite me to like a cosplay convention. But,
Right,
like,
yeah,
right,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
I think
Yeah.
what that does to me immediately is go like, I will not have anything to talk to you about.
Yeah.
That implies no connection.
Okay, but here's the thing. Now, what if this was written by a man?
It's-
Then it would be gross.
I mean, I don't think it would go to gross, but
think
only
it would be the
because we
same.
just looked at a couple messages.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere in this
Right.
message is there mention of anyone's bumhole. And,
Yeah.
and for that, we commend her.
Well, so the
The
bar is
eyebrow raise
that
could
bar is
be-
that low for
Oh,
men.
absolutely.
Right? Yeah. See, man, I think I'm overthinking my message.
Almost
well,
certainly.
I advise people to think more, but now I think I overthink
Do you like
it.
write and rewrite and edit and rewrite? And
Well, sometimes,
Yeah.
I try to be a little more in the moment, and it's usually I'm like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it would have been funny if I had said that, of course.
Yeah.
But that's my life. After
remember-
every podcast I drive home, I'm like, I
I
the
felt
best
that way
retort.
about tweets back in the day. Everyone was
Oh.
like,
Oh.
your first tweet was probably the best one, right?
Yeah.
But then I would go over and over and over, and then you get this like weird mangled version of your first tweet, and you're like, yeah, that's safe and funny, and then you tweet that.
I
and
was
you're like,
terrible on Twitter because I always overthought it. I could
Yeah.
never. I'm so bad at Twitter or Blue
I
Sky
had
now,
some
whatever.
fun on Twitter.
Yeah.
At one point, I had a Twitter account for just my balls, which is like I know it sounds awful, but the whole joke was
love that.
It sounds so. The whole joke was that
Well,
there were all
they
these
needed it.
pictures taken from inside my pants. So it was always just like fabric. It was just like the inside of fabric. Like we're in Paris, and then like, oh look, we're at L'Arc de Triomphe, and it's like the green inside of like green. That was the whole account. It was just my balls were tourists around the world, and they were taking pictures from inside my pants.
Do you remember what that was called?
I think it was called Tyler Bean's balls.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, it's still in there somewhere. Tyler Bean's balls with a Z.
This
Just
is
kidding. No Z.
Obviously, you couldn't have done this, but it would have been fun to have just one picture of one of your balls holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh, right. Like doing the classic thing.
Just one ball just right here. Oh, man.
You know, it's really funny. I go to these autograph signing conventions that I've talked about that one here. And for a long time, I did this movie called Someone Marry Barry. And in that movie, we have a scene where I'm standing next to all these dudes at our friend's wedding, and we're the groomsmen, and the camera's panning out, and then you just see that my balls are hanging out of my pants. And I'm like, and when we shot that on the day, there was going to be a prosthetic, and then the props guy came up to me at the beginning of the day. I haven't told the story in here, have I?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we did this whole prosthetic for the balls.
Yeah.
And they look fair enough, right? Good. They're like balls, yeah. And the props guy, this young dude, comes up to me. It was like a smaller film. He comes up and he's like, Mr. Labine, somebody broke into the prop truck and stole the ball prosthetic. And I was like, what? It's like somebody stole the balls. I was like,
Oh, of course.
no, they didn't, man. You like somebody dropped the balls. And he was like, and I'm not sure. We don't have time to make another prosthetic. And director wants to talk with you about maybe showing your actual balls. And I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. And we go over and the director is like, yeah, what do you think? Like, we don't have to tell anybody, but it'll just be your balls hanging out of your pants. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And then this whole chain of command, like they had to reach out to my lawyer and my agents, and this whole, they had to sign these forms about my balls being in the movie. The studio had to sign off because now there was technically nudity, real nudity in the film. And it was this whole big thing. And it's like literally like a split second in the movie. And so at my autograph conventions, I have photos of just that. It's just my balls hanging out of my pants. And then it was a tag for my Tyler Bean's balls account on Twitter.
That's awesome.
And you would be shocked how many people buy and have me autograph my own balls. It's crazy.
It's probably framed in someone's kitchenette somewhere.
They're like, I want this one. I'm like, you what? And then I sign. Some of them are like, don't do it on the balls. Sign near the balls.
Okay. Well, one of these days, one of these days, you're gonna run out of stories, but it's not today.
Never. And that one is like one of those ones that I've gone over in my head, and it's funnier if I pare it down.
Yeah.
Like you could extrapolate. It's really just. That's
That's
it.
My
man.
balls were in a movie.
My balls were in a movie.
And now I sign autographs
because somebody stole my prosthetics.
But when you go to the conventions, you bring.
No, my handler thought it was funny to print these off one time and brought like a small stack of like 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
And we sold them immediately. And he was like, "Oh, I guess we should bring more of those to the next convention." And brought like 10, and we sold those out. Eventually it slowed down. The novelty slowed down. But
right. Do you still do it now?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
No, I think that's pretty inappropriate. So like, there's kids at these cons. And like,
Did your balls continue to get work after that film?
No, that was it. That was the shining
your balls
moment.
Didn't get SAG?
No, yeah. Boom.
We did it. We did a joke.
It's probably the worst shape my balls have ever been in, too. Like, I've learned a lot more about.
Before we got into the rejuvenation period.
Yeah. And like,
wait,
you know.
What do you do for your balls?
All kinds of things. I moisturize, I trim, I do all this stuff, man. This is like shaggy looking balls hanging out of my pants. Anyway.
Oh, I didn't know about. Okay, yeah, moisturizing makes sense.
You do have this like Zen calming energy where I'm like, he probably has a pretty smooth scrot.
I do.
I don't know why that is.
Well, it's an energy that I like to put.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
It started about 6 years ago, and I was like, this is the way.
Will you shave them?
Yeah, like totally shave them. Yeah, with like a razor.
With electric?
No, with a straight razor.
Like a straight.
Yeah, in the shower.
Whoa,
so
God,
I've gotten really good at it.
That seems
been a couple
like
mishaps.
Nick's. Yeah, that seems like a Nick.
It terrifies.
And then I use this like chia goat milk moisturizer that smells really good, and I just put that on
lactose intolerance.
Yeah, goat milk.
Exactly. Goat milk. That's
right. But this shit.
Like we're supposed to just move on from that. Like, all right, so
no,
I really hijacked the whole pod there.
I know it's not like a rare thing that people shave. shave their balls. But like with the straight razor, I mean, there's all the folds.
It's a
and
safety.
everything.
It's not like I'm pulling out like
I know, but
sharpening it on my leather strap. And like,
yeah.
yeah.
But no, of course but just like a regular razor you'd use to do your beard.
It's not that hard. You just have to like stretch the skin out.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
go against the grain. Gently use the shaving cream.
Yeah,
Look,
see, I'm getting
guys over there going.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting like, ugh.
Look, my Martha appreciates it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that it's a thing that I think that was overlooked for most of my life, and I will probably never change. I'll never go back to just being like, yeah, do your thing, balls.
And this whole conversation catalyzed by this wonderful anime woman.
I love it too. This one's a woman. Oh my God, a woman wrote something.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, okay. Yeah.
We want to move on.
mean, we can. Yeah.
All right. You know how you can crack your knuckles?
So this is an unusual skill. So this is in someone's profile.
This is on X, right?
The prompt is unusual skills, and this is unhinged.
No, this is you saw the X in the corner and you thought it was on
I don't know.
X,
I haven't been on there
Twitter.
forever.
No, that's
this
Hinge.
is Hinge. Yeah.
Oh, this is Hinge. Okay.
Yeah.
So unusual skills. You know how you can crack your knuckles? Well, I can crack my cock.
Is it like one of those
Pepper grinder?
Yeah. Or is he just giving it a left turn? Like,
It's one of those like snap and release toys.
yeah, like the bracelets. Kids used to have. Yeah, you can put my whole cock around your wrist.
Wow.
It wraps twice,
I can
lady.
crack my cock.
I don't even know how that works.
You'd have to have some joints in there.
Yeah.
That's the only way, yeah.
I don't know. There's this is the last 5 minutes is a lot of stuff I don't want to do to my my stuff.
I think generally you don't want to crack your cock.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, has he told his doctor? Because
Unless he's actually talking about an eggplant. That
right.
could be the case.
Yeah.
You definitely can crack.
Much more straightforward.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
That's awesome. I was in jail, LOL, so couldn't reply, sorry. Just couldn't even fully spell out sorry for that one.
Okay.
This is really funny to me because it implies that like the whole time this guy was in jail.
Like, I left Sandra on
oh
red.
shit, I couldn't get back to that person on Hinge, man. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like that's an excuse.
It's risky.
Ironclad. Yeah.
It's risky.
Bad boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad boy. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Just like, yeah, like I mean, I think
Yeah.
the fault you would have to respond to that saying like, what for?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think
Curiosity
you
would-
really need to respond.
I would have to. If someone wrote that and said I was in jail and it was just a text
I gotta
message,
know.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
what were you in jail for, man? I have to know.
But I think you're probably not going to go out on a date.
No.
Another
Oh,
date.
certainly not.
No, I think it would
but-
end there. You get the
yeah.
reply and then
Yeah. So the ILYSM takeaway on this is don't go to jail.
and if you do have to go to jail, maybe
Yeah.
keep it to yourself.
And
Yeah.
if you go to jail, there's plenty of options in there.
Yeah.
Jail doesn't need Hinge,
Yeah.
from what I understand. The fellas are around and ready to socialize.
We were talking about organic ways to meet people.
That's the
Jail's
most
a very
organic place to
way
meet a
meet
person
people.
is prison.
Sovereign masculinity is wholeness, integrity, emotional depth, accountability, and the refusal to self-erase for acceptance. I thought that was very, like, we talk about what is masculinity on this show, because my friend of mine, Steve Mallory, was like, I think an interesting question is, what's the opposite of toxic masculinity? This lightning rod phrase we're all throwing around. It's like, divine masculinity. It can't just be masculinity. It's got to be. And then we ask a lot of people what they think the definition of masculinity should be. That is a pretty amazing little nugget there.
Okay.
Sovereign masculinity is wholeness, integrity, emotional depth, accountability, and the refusal to self-erase for acceptance. That kind of blew my mind when I read that. I'm going to say it one more time.
I'm processing.
Sovereign
it.
masculinity is wholeness, integrity, emotional depth, accountability, and the refusal to self-erase for acceptance. That's all the things we've talked about on this show. It's everyone's answers wrapped up into a very succinct sentence. I'm really blown away by that. Accountability has been the one I think the most sort of common. It's like, look, accountability, let's be accountable. Let's move forward with accountability. But like this refusal to self-erase for acceptance, that goes along with this loneliness epidemic we're talking about. Like you just disappear into the patriarchy so that you can be part of like the rat race of men trying to get to power and money or whatever. And that erases your emotional bonds and connections. That part really resonated for me. Anyway, I want to read that. Yeah. Does anybody have any observations about that?
I've been struggling with like trying to come up with a definition of masculinity for years for myself. And I think that that's a a good working definition. I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's nuanced, obviously,
Exactly.
but like that's
It's I'm definitely of the opinion that you can't boil down masculinity to just one sentence. But like, if I had to pick a sentence, that's a great.
it's the best one I've read so far.
exactly.
Anyway, we'll put it that way.
Yeah,
but maybe we
absolutely.
can build on that now.
Truly.
Plus muscles.
Plus being absolutely motherfucking jacked and getting all of the bitches in the world.
Muscles,
corollaries on there.
bitches, money.
Maxx Eddy, thank you
Thank
so
you guys
much.
so much for having me. This is like a lovely space for the boys. The dogs were barking today.
Exactly. Exactly.
By the way, that's a phrase I'm trying to change because dogs are barking used to mean your toes hurt.
Yeah.
I disagree. So I think because it's such a good phrase for.
Well, I'm glad you disagree.
It's wasted on feet.
Yeah.
The dogs are barking. That's the boys having good conversations about being boys.
We're out here barking.
The dogs are barking. Dude.
I like it.
Well, I also want to shout out, in addition to Maxx, our love bugs on our Patreon.
Yes.
Thank you everyone on our Patreon, patreon.com/ILYSM pod, especially Jonathan Newman and
Roblin Rougier.
Yeah, I'm gonna DM Roblin.
Yeah.
Roblin and get the
We
pronunciation.
do not
of that.
want to mar your pronunciation.
Yes, exactly. And of course, thank you to the whole crew here.
Studio
the best.
1042.
Love it.
Thank you, the wonderful
everybody.
space.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Reed. I love you, buddy.
I love you so much. And we love everyone so much. Thank you for watching and listening.